here voicing dissent, the Chinese government is watching us. They are watching us because we are voicing the truth, because we're voicing the values of the people, of freedom and democracy. And yet they want to suppress it wherever we are, whoever we are. And at this moment, when we're standing up against them, we're telling the Chinese authorities that we will not back down. The molecules were not only accidentally accepted by the Chinese authorities. Evidence show that the Hong Kong police and the Hong Kong authorities know that these two people are going to escape Taiwan. And they informed the Chinese authorities to intercept them so that they can be under the jurisdiction and detained of the Chinese authorities. That is an utter disregard of due process. That is an utter disregard of civil rights and human rights recognized by the international community. Especially given that the Chinese judicial system is not exactly impartial. It is a system with parties decide the fate of the defendant. It's a system where the people are structured and totally in the control of legal issues. And they now stay for 2 months without trial, without representation of their own, without kingdom, and without transparency. We say that no one knows what they're undergoing, but we all know. Nobody tells us, but we all know that they're suffering under the hands of the Chinese authorities. We all know that the Hungarian government will not be tolerant, lenient, or be benevolent towards these victims of their authoritarianism. We know that at this moment they are probably suffering torture and incarceration and other inhumane conditions. And that's why we're asking the international community to exert pressure on the Chinese authorities. We understand from the track record of the Chinese authorities that they do not listen to demands. They do not care about the people, and they do not care about universal values. They do not care about international communities, and they do not care about cooperation. Nevertheless, we want to demand the release of 12 Hong Kong youth. We want the international community to pay attention to the atrocities committed within the bounds of Hong Kong and China. We want also to tell them keep demanding the release of Hong Kong, we are not afraid. And we, as the people, will insist the values of democracy and freedom until we get what we deserve. And for now, I would like to also invite
In the last 2 months, we've all been disappointed, sad, and angered, and this feeling has gone on for the past year. And we're especially sad because even though we don't personally know the 12, it feels like our dreams were also crushed at the same time when they became arrested and detained. Today's event is a little bit different. We're here to show solidarity for the 12 and the families of the 12 who are going through this trial. So while we are saddened, while we're disappointed, and we're angered by many of the things that happened, at the same time, we're here with hope that they'll return. Our visual theme today is back to basics, is a yellow ribbon as we had started the Umbrella Revolution. In the most basic definition, the yellow ribbon symbolizes a longing or waiting for a loved one to return. In 2014, we use that to symbolize the return of freedom, the return of autonomy to Hong Kong. And today, we're using the yellow ribbon again to symbolize the longing for the 12, for them to return. Whether to return home, to return to Hong Kong, return to a place of their dreams, a place with the values of freedom. We're waiting for them to return. So as we wrap up, this message, please remember today to pick up a yellow ribbon and a pin. We also have the opportunity to record messages and to send them to the 12 Hong Kongers, the care group, where they'll be able to edit and show the messages to the 12 and their families. There is actually one correction I need to make. Despite us longing for the return of autonomy and freedom to Hong Kong, even under British rule, although the livelihoods are good, we never tasted true freedom. We never tasted a Hong Kong that is ruled by Hong Kongers. One thing I've heard many times is, if you want something that you never had, then we must be prepared to work harder than we ever had. Until 2019, we had never worked this hard. But now we're getting the first taste. We must keep going. We must go harder and further. And I understand many of us, including myself, wonder when will the day come? When will morning, when will dawn come? And we don't know, but if we keep working at it, it will come. I think Hong Kong was a miracle in terms of prosperity, and Hong Kong is a miracle in terms of getting the world's attention to China's authoritarian government. Again, I want to stress that above disappointment and sadness, we're here with hope that our brothers and sisters will return, and they are our brothers and sisters because we share the same dreams. We thank you, and any message that you may have, please feel free to record them, and we will have a platform that you can submit them to. Thank you so much.
We could invite some of you who want to speak now, but before I do that, I'd like to tell you the call of time for today. So as you said, we have prepared yellow ribbon. You can take pictures with them, you can take videos with them, and they will go directly to the 12 Hong Kongers, as well as the Government and Congress, who have been standing with Hong Kong since the Constitution process. Last November, the Congress was part of in passing the Hong Kong Human Rights and Democracy Act with unanimous voting. In July, the Congress has also passed unanimously the Hong Kong Affordable Act. In sanctioning the human rights violators in Hong Kong belongs to the Hong Kong government as well as belongs to the Beijing Communist Party. We want to say that the justice will come and don't give up evidence. In the upcoming bill that the Congress is going to debate will be the Hong Kong Safe Harbor Act and Hong Kong People Freedom and Democracy Act. And these two bills are related to supporting the Hong Kong people, the freedom-loving people of Hong Kong to come to America, in supporting their asylum seekers all over the world as well. In UK, they have already announced receiving Hong Kong asylum seekers, the BNO holders, starting from January 31st. So we do anticipate that there will be overwhelming supporters of Hong Kong people who go to overseas. But it does not mean that we will give up. It only means that for our perseverance and our determination of freedom, we will not be constrained geographically. We will not give up, and we will stand against the tyranny. As the government and as Pompeo, the
the Secretary of State has already mentioned. This is the mission of our times, to stand against the biggest evil in the 21st century. And this actually resonated with one of our statements in our protest, which is liberate Hong Kong and revolution of our times. We believe that this will take generations. Today we come here not only in DC, but more than 20, 30 cities around the globe are standing in solidarity with the missing 12 Hong Kong youth. When the Great Britain promised with China, they made a promise to Hong Kong people that they will grant us high degree of autonomy and one country, two systems. And we should have autonomy. So with the draconian national security law, we can see that actually the 12 youth Hong Kong are barely represented their freedom, which is guaranteed in this law independent of their freedom. We should pass this law. But then, we have to last year, the protest of the international law, the terrorism almost but what happens is that the extradition law is already in place. They're just doing secret. Anyone who spread fear, spread hatred against the Communist government will be likely to be extradited to China. If we do not stand up right now, we can be all the 13 Hong Kongers. With the national security law that not only applies to Hong Kong people living in Hong Kong, but it also applies to non-Hong Kong citizens living outside Hong Kong. That means it applies to everyone else. So that's why we do urge that the world, the government, and to the legislature to stand with Hong Kong. Because right now, Hong Kong is easy. It's a global issue. It's an ideological issue. The battle of liberty, between the democracy and authoritarianism. And we are 21st century leaders right now. It is time to free Hong Kong! Free Hong Kong! Stand with Hong Kong! Stand with Hong Kong! Fight for freedom! Fight for freedom! Five demands! No one less! Five demands! No one less! Five demands! No one less! 光復香港！光復香港！ Free Hong Kong! Free Hong Kong! Free Hong Kong! Free Hong Kong! Thank you everyone supporting Hong Kong. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. Just one final thing.